Hi, and welcome back to Medway Wrestle. So, today we're going to be asking the question: is Logan Paul joining the Vision? So, just to catch you up to speed, the Vision is a group that was led by Seth Rollins up until a week ago. It joined shortly after WrestleMania, the last WrestleMania that they had, after the triple threat match, which had Seth Rollins in, CM Punk, and Roman Reigns. There was some backstory leading up to whether there would be a shift in management from Paul Heyman. The build-up was that he had always promised that he was going to be walking CM Punk into his main event, and that happened. And then it kind of led to a kind of double turn at the end where you thought CM Punk was, or Paul Heyman was going to screw over CM Punk and go back with Roman. But it ends up that he's actually in league with Seth Rollins, and they then shortly after formed that group of the Vision with the two Bron Breakker and Bronson Reed. So I thought initially when this happened that this was going to be another bloodline. Like this was going to be a story that lasted for, months and months, if not years, building up. Maybe there'd be some other people joining, other people leaving, and it would build up to a crescendo in the kind of similar way that the bloodline did. And maybe there'd be someone on the other side like there was with Cody who was building up to beat him, and maybe that would happen with Seth. Seth would be the new Roman Reigns, get to that mega stardom towards the end of his run. But it's kind of just been pulled, isn't it? And I don't know if that's because Seth genuinely has an injury that is then stopping him from being able to fulfill the duties and carry on the storyline. So they've had to change on the fly, maybe. I'm hoping that when the next sort of lots of series of the Unreal show on Netflix, if they're going to continue making that, hopefully that will kind of give us a bit more background as to why this change happened and what actually happened. Because it is kind of a mystery as to why, Bron Breakker turned on Seth Rollins. He was the champion at the time. It's just very strange. But then it opens up for someone new to come into the Vision. There was kind of, there was a little vignette with Brock Lesnar. You had Paul Heyman introducing Brock Lesnar in his match at WrestlePalooza, kind of thinking along the lines of, well, Brock Lesnar's going to come back in, and then that would be this, really strong faction of Brock Lesnar leading with the two Brons and Paul Heyman, which would be quite a big faction. But now, could we see that Logan Paul is going to join? So, if you've seen Raw that happened on Monday, the 3rd of November, it started off with CM Punk about to be attacked by the Vision, and Logan Paul kind of makes a save. He ends up then getting attacked. Later on in the show, it looks like Logan Paul is going to make the save again and help CM Punk and Jey Uso, who are having a tag match with the Brons. And then he double crosses. He was a face for an hour, and then he double crosses and hits CM Punk to kind of cement. And then you kind of get that handshake, or has he joined? Is he going to be the leader? I don't think he's a strong enough character to be the leader. I can't. He's not a Roman Reigns. He's not a Seth Rollins. He's not a Cody Rhodes. He's done really, really well in the wrestling world, but I don't know if he's top tier, so to speak, at the moment. Eventually he'll probably end up there if he carries on, devoting all the time to the wrestling world, but I don't know if he's quite there yet. So, or is he just joining? Because this is the other thing, it's the time of year now. It is the build up to Survivor Series, and for the last few years now, Survivor Series has been War Games. It seems that would then be maybe what's another thing that's happening. Could it be a build up to War Games, and that's now 3 members? Would you pop Brock in there for the 4th? Is it going to be 4 or 5 against another 4 or 5? So it could be the start of what they're building to War Games, and he's not actually joined the Vision. So we'll see. We'll see more as the coming weeks go on. I'm not really a fan of, I think, of Logan Paul joining this group if it is going to be a case that he's now the leader of this group. I think that kind of brings the Brons down because they're almost on the same level pegging as Logan Paul in terms of where they should sit on the card. So they shouldn't have someone that's in charge of them. If they had a Brock Lesnar Roman Reigns, someone like that, someone who's got to be above them to kind of bring them up more. You know, Bron Breakker is a future main eventer. He's going to be top of the card in the future, but he's not there just yet. Bronson Reed, I think he's probably as high as he probably would end up. But that's still a good position. He's still done really well. I can't see him being like a Roman Reigns or a Seth Rollins in the future, but he's definitely up there. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see what happens going forward. Which over the next few weeks, maybe it is going to be, like we were saying, a Survivor Series thing, a War Games thing. Maybe they are just building up towards that, and that is what's going to happen. But yeah, I guess it's a case we'll find out some more, maybe on Friday or maybe on Monday next week, to see where this is actually going. But yeah, that's all we've got time for today. As always, have fun, look after yourself. See you later. Bye.